is RTV6 News at Noon, working for you.
Thanks for joining us here for the news at noon. I'm Meredith Barrett, joined by meteorologist Todd Clausen. And Todd, it looks like you pulled some strings with Mother Nature here.
Oh my
These
goodness.
temps are incredible for December 26th.
Yeah, look at Bloomington right now, 64 degrees. You walk outside.
If the kids were in class right now down at IU, I feel like they'd probably be outside day drinking.
Yeah, I mean, keep in mind our normal high is 36 degrees, so we're running almost 30 degrees above normal in many locations here this afternoon. So by far, this is the biggest weather headline, and we'll continue to see these temperatures above normal here over the next few days. 61 in Martinsville, 64 in Bloomington, as we mentioned. 63 is the current temperature in Muncie, 59 as you make your way down into the Columbus area. We've had a decent amount of sunshine to go with these mild temperatures this morning. That'll be changing a little bit as we go forward throughout the afternoon hours. As you can see, the clouds starting to appear more and more in central Indiana. Here are those breaks that you see stretching from Richmond back through the metro area. But as we expand out, there's definitely more clouds off to our west. That's where we find a weak little front that's going to slide through the area during the afternoon hours. So as we progress throughout the afternoon, there could be a stray shower. I think the better chance of a few hit or miss showers will be once we get to sunset and beyond into the evening hours. Anything you do see this evening, though, will be very, very light. So in the meantime, get outside. Enjoy the warm temperatures. 62 at 4 p.m., then falling into the 50s as those spotty showers make their way through the area. As I mentioned, these temperatures, they're going to remain mild through the weekend, but we have a pretty big storm heading our way as well. We'll talk more about that coming up in just a few minutes.
Todd, thank you. A man continues to battle for his life this midday after being shot on the city's northwest side. The shooting happened around 1:30 this morning near 35th and MLK. Authorities say the man was shot in the chest and the groin just outside of a home. Police say the victim was taken to the hospital in critical condition. However, they're still working on learning what led up to the gunfire. Metro Police tell us the victim is not cooperating with investigators. Investigators are looking for a suspect after a trade deal goes wrong. Metro Police were called to the Walgreens store at West 30th and Kessler around 10:30 last night. Officers tell us a man went to the store with a friend to sell an iPhone. The suspect, a younger man, pulled out a gun, took the phone, and then shot the man selling the phone in the leg. The victim was taken to the hospital and is expected to survive. Police have not released any more details on the suspect. An Indianapolis mother is hoping to keep her son's legacy and name alive after he was shot and killed 1 year ago today. Tonight, family and friends are hosting a prayer vigil in honor of Aaron Lamont Grice Jr. The shooting happened at the Canterbury Apartments. Grice was found dead of a gunshot wound near a dumpster in the housing complex. His mom, Mary East, tells RTV6 they were just 5 minutes away when he called for help, but 5 minutes wasn't enough. When they got to the apartments, she realized he'd been severely beaten and shot. Since his death, East visits these apartments every month, leaving flowers, releasing balloons, and looking for the closure she needs.
I'm grieving, but it's not getting any better because for once, I know they out in the streets and I know they living their life. But for me to start healing, they said I need to forgive, but I can't forgive someone that they won't even admit to what they did.
Tonight at 6, family and friends will gather at the apartment complex for a prayer vigil and balloon release. Grice had 2 children of his own, and East is hoping that by continuing to talk about her son's death and the grief she and his entire family face every day, the person responsible will come forward. So far, no suspects have been named in this case. Lawrence police are asking anyone with information to call Crime Stoppers at 317-262-TIPS. The mayor of Muncie will have to wait a little longer for his federal trial to start. In November, Mayor Dennis Tyler was arrested by the FBI and charged with theft of government funds. His trial was originally scheduled for next month, but his attorneys asked the judge to give them more time to negotiate a plea agreement and to prepare for the trial. The new trial date is set for May 25th. Tyler is one of 7 people facing charges in a wide-ranging investigation of corruption in Muncie. Tyler will leave office at the end of the year. He did not seek re-election. 2 of the 3 Southern Indiana judges suspended following a fight in downtown Indianapolis earlier this year are back on the bench. Clark County Circuit Court Judge Brad Jacobs and Crawford Circuit Judge Sabrina Bell were reinstated Monday. Both served 30-day suspensions. A third judge, Clark County Circuit Court Judge Andrew Adams, will be reinstated next month after completing a 60-day suspension. Adams and Jacobs were shot during a fight outside of White Castle back in May. They were in Indianapolis for a conference. Adams pleaded guilty to a misdemeanor battery charge and received a suspended jail sentence. Neither Jacobs nor Bell were criminally charged. The holiday rush is on again. This time it's mostly people trying to get home. The day after Christmas is often one of the busiest travel days of the year. ABC's Alex Perez tells us that's especially true in Chicago at one of the world's busiest airports.
It's the day after Christmas and the travel rush is on. Check out the scene here at Chicago's O'Hare Airport. You can see a number of passengers already checking in. I want you to see that monitor above the crowd there. It says more than 20 minutes right now to get through the security line. It says the TSA pre-check line taking about 15 minutes. And if you look in the distance there, you can see that line to get through security sort of snaking through the terminal there. A lot of people here at the airport. In fact, today and tomorrow will be some of the busiest travel days this holiday season. Nearly 3 million passengers are expected to fly, and it won't be just the airports. Also, the roadways are expected to be very, very busy, especially this afternoon and this evening. In some cases, it could take people twice as long to get to their destination. Alex Perez, ABC News, Chicago.
Alex, thanks. You may have gotten gift cards this holiday season, but that might include some you may not want. Coming up, the do's and don'ts of selling those gift cards online. And Santa Claus arrived for kids on Christmas morning, but later on the news at noon, the story of how the big man had gifts for one little boy because of a last-minute message delivered by another hero. Todd.
And the Christmas presents keep rolling along here with the mild temperatures. This warmth will continue for the next few days. We're in the 60s right now, believe it or not, across much of central Indiana. You see the colder air off to the west. That eventually gets here. We'll talk all about it coming up in your Storm Team 6 forecast. You're watching the news at noon right here on RTV6.
Show tonight at 9 on ABC.
It's time now for another RTV6 Consumer Alert. I'm joined by the Better Business Bureau's Tim Maniscalco. And Tim, people might be receiving a lot of gift cards here over the holiday season, and oftentimes we end up with one that we might not want, so we turn to the internet to look to sell it, but that's also where scammers turn to and steal our money.
Right. You know, there are services out there that will buy your card and give you money or what have you for it. So you want to make certain that when you do that, you're doing that responsibly and you don't get ripped off. So if you do have a card, you know, you're not going to get full face value for it. If you have a $100 card, a company's going to offer you something that's going to be less.
$75.
Something like that.
Right.
Yeah, they're going to offer you less money, but at least you're going to get something for it. But you want to make certain that when you give them the card or give them the access numbers, the PIN numbers, and that type of thing, that the company is a responsible company, that you're actually going to get then paid the money that you are going to, that they offered you. Because a lot of times these companies that are not necessarily legitimate, they'll get the number, they'll get the PIN numbers, and then they won't give you any money back. So a lot of people do that on the internet. We found several companies that are just fake companies out there on the internet. So you want to make sure that they're responsible, understand their refund policy, and then if you buy a gift card from these companies, and sometimes you can buy gift cards at a reduced price. Once again, you want to make certain that you see the expiration date, you see the PIN numbers, all those types of things, so that they aren't giving you something that is worthless. So just do a little bit of homework here, and then you always want to pay with your credit card. That is the form of payment that has the most protection for you. So just make certain that you pay with your credit card. And once again, just check all the balances, use it quickly, and if you do have a problem, contact us. But it's a great service out there because, like I say, you could get a gift card that, hey, I'm never going to use this. Get something out of it, but make certain you don't get ripped off.
All right, Tim, some great advice, especially this holiday season. This has been another RTV6 Consumer Alert. We look back at a downtown institution as its longtime patrons are getting ready to say goodbye. Coming up next, a brief history of a legendary bar where the last call is just a few days away. And if you haven't stepped outside yet today, what are you doing? 62 degrees on December 26th. We are awfully lucky right now. Meteorologist Todd Clausen will let us know if this warm weather will stick around into the new year. You're watching the news at noon on RTV6.
Service is free, so please call.
Now that Christmas is over, the Department of Public Works and Indy Parks are not wasting any time helping you get rid of your Christmas tree. Recycling starts today, and you can drop off live trees at 9 different locations. They should only be left at the specifically designated area within the park and only between dawn and dusk. You can see the list of drop-off locations on your screen right now. You must also remove ornaments and any other decorations. Tree recycling in Indianapolis goes through January 31st and is only for residents of Marion County. You can find the list of drop-off sites by going to the RTV6 app and clicking on this story. Today, we're taking a look back at a place that will soon be history itself. Ike and Jonesy's will serve up its last call on New Year's Eve. There wasn't much happening downtown just off South Meridian when the bar first opened, but the changing times help make it one of the places to be, and now more changing times will bring a marvelous 36-year run to a close. Our editor, Michael Hartz, put together this report featuring the sights and sounds of Ike and Jonesy's from the past, as well as the legendary bar's owner today as he prepares to say goodbye.
Our motto is, we are the fun damn place downtown. One of the things that I thought was most important was, yes, try to offer a good menu, yes, offer a great price, but give people something to do after they're done with dinner and after and we put the dance floor in. And we did not play industrial music, we played music from people's past.
It's Thursday, it's quarter beer night, it's Ike and Jonesy's, and it's hopping. Ike's was one of the first bars to test the downtown South Meridian Street waters prior to the opening of Union Station. Downtown is happening.
It's like a wedding reception in here. Everybody dances. There was a brand new Hoosier Dome that hadn't been used yet. So I opened up the same day as the Hoosier Dome opened up for football. I used to have the sports bar across the street, and actually during the last push of construction of the Circle Center Mall, I lost my sports bar.
There's nothing left to do but sweep up the sawdust. After more than 10 years, sports is closed forever. Rick Eichholz and longtime partner Doc Wiesner made their last trip to bankruptcy court today and have turned their backs on the once profitable business. Now they look forward to shoring up another downtown bar, Ike and Jonesy's.
We kept this one because it's our name, and we're glad we did. I would like to have stayed a little bit longer, about another 10 years. But this place is going to be a hotel. I believe it's going to be a Holiday Inn, and that's marvelous. I don't fit into their plans. We made a deal that I'm going to leave. I have enjoyed this immensely for the last 36 years. I had the greatest job in the world. So it's time to find something else.
Thank you again to Michael Hartz and photographer Paul Chiodo for putting that together. And thank you, Todd, for providing us with this wonderful weather we've had over the past few days. I think people are almost kind of confused. Are we sure we're in central Indiana? Or we haven't been transported somewhere else? It is currently the same weather here today as it is in Phoenix, which is just mind-boggling to me.
When you think about it, you know, you saw the inside of the track there. Just last week, it was covered in 7 inches of snow, and now the grass is green, and you walk outside, and it feels like spring. And we'll be able to enjoy these mild temperatures for a few more days before it gets closer to reality once again as we round out 2019. Forecast high today, 64 degrees. Our average high is 36 degrees. So a full 30 to 31 degrees warmer today than it should be for this time of year. And here is that view once again from IMS looking back towards downtown Indianapolis. We've had some sunshine here throughout the first half of the day. I think we'll see more in the way of clouds gather throughout the afternoon hours. The temperature sits at 62 degrees. These southwesterly winds bringing in a little bit of humidity. You'll actually feel that if you're going to be out and about about throughout the course of the afternoon hours. Slightly cooler to the north, 58 in Tipton, 61 in Peru, Bloomington up to 64 degrees already. It's 62 in Martinsville as well as Connorsville. And we're just in the right place here with these southwesterly winds. We'll continue to see these warm temperatures just filter right here into central Indiana. All this cold air, it's not too far off to our west, but it really just stays there for the next few days. It's not until probably next week we start to see some of those colder temperatures work their way in. So for today, 64 in Indy, 65 in Bloomington. Northern locations, you get into the 60s as well with skies that'll eventually become mostly cloudy. You see a few of these breaks still across the area north of Indianapolis, a little more in the way of cloud cover to the south and off to our west. Not a lot of moisture, but there's a weak little front, and you notice some showers breaking out across parts of western Kentucky. I do think that happens here later on this evening. It's probably after sunset will bring in the chance of a few isolated showers here and there across the area. They're all very, very light. They'll continue into the overnight hours as that front moves through, but most of them should be out of the area by time we get to tomorrow morning. So tomorrow morning, still kind of that damp feel with the mild temperatures in the 50s. Then we hold pretty steady tomorrow in the 50s, only to rebound back up into the 60s for the weekend. As far as the weekend times out, most of Saturday is dry. Rain develops late, becomes heavy overnight Saturday into Sunday morning. So let me fast forward to Saturday afternoon for you. The clouds gather, still fairly dry across the area. Once we get into Sunday evening, this is when the rain will start to overspread the area, and then it becomes heavy into Sunday morning. So as you're starting maybe to head off to church on Sunday morning, you'll be dealing with quite a bit of rainfall and maybe even a rumble of thunder, something we'll keep an eye on for you. On the backside of that system, as the colder air starts to come in, we'll see maybe a few snow showers. At this point, not expecting any accumulation. Then for New Year's Eve, 38, which is still above normal. It's closer to normal, and then we get to 43 degrees on New Year's Day. So not just a one-day deal. Today's probably the best day of the bunch simply because it's mainly dry until after sunset. So get out there, enjoy the temperatures in the 60s.
Sounds like a good idea to do so, Todd. Thank you. If you're looking to ring in the new year with a new ride, you might want to be in downtown sometime between now and New Year's Day. The Indy Auto Show is just underway inside the Indiana Convention Center. The show features all the latest models of cars, trucks, and SUVs without a salesperson trying to steer you a certain way.
We have an opportunity for people to come in comparison, shop without someone trying to sell you something. And for a lot of people, that's a welcome relief of any type of sales pressure to come in and ask their questions.
You'll also get to check out various race cars and meet some Formula 3 drivers. It costs $7 to get in. The auto show runs every day through January 1st. Still ahead, more news and one last check of your Storm Team 6 forecast. You're watching RTV6. We'll be right back. A simple act of kindness not only made the day for a 9-year-old, it also made sure his holiday season was a happy one. Little Caden Bryant Samuel wanted to send a letter to Santa this past Monday, but he and his mom could not find the Santa letter box at a department store near their Washington, D.C. home. Caden was in tears since he said it would take 2 days for his letter to reach the North Pole, and he thought his Christmas would end with no presents. So he and his mom went down to their apartment complex's mailbox, hoping a mail carrier would show up. When one did finally come, Caden was overjoyed.
And he gave her the letter, and she just hugged him, and they embraced each other. And I took the picture, and I was, of course, teary-eyed. He was like, "This is a Christmas miracle." So it was the most beautiful thing.
Miracle. This is a Christmas miracle.
Oh, okay, that's the cutest thing I've seen all day. Because he didn't give up, Caden got a basketball, a football, Hot Wheels, and what you see there, a remote control car that climbs walls. Way cooler than anything Santa brought you or I this year, Todd. Right. But I think we're happy with what the weather is. That is a gift in itself.
You know, now that we're past Christmas, everybody wants the mild temperatures. We didn't get the white Christmas. We had mild temperatures yesterday. A little warmer today, 64, 50s tomorrow, back into the 60s, but pretty wet late Saturday night into Sunday morning.
Todd, thanks. And thank you for making RTV6 your choice for news. We'll see you back here for the news at 5. Have a great afternoon. Enjoy that nice weather.